Modern woman ruins 10-year marriage and is left with absolutely nothing.
To do? You need to get your own life. You need to cleave away from your husband, cleave away from your children. You're not just the grandma. You're not just the wife. Well, I did it. Here I am on my new bed, my princess bed. And you know what? I felt free. I felt so excited for the first time in years. I don't know, things aren't going that great. I miss my family. I miss being a family. Maybe it's worth just staying miserable if you get your family.
Hello, gents. Well,
I don't think I can ever love anybody like I loved my ex-husband. Most women can't say that. It's a hard thing for women to say. My ex-husband was a very sweet man. He took care of me like no other person would take care of me.
Women often only appreciate what they have once it's gone. Whether rich or poor, their tears tell the same stories. Many of those women who publicly celebrate their divorce and separation aren't truly happy. No one celebrates divorce unless they're trying to convince themselves otherwise. They were often naive, misled, and deceived into leaving their homes, believing there was something better out there. But soon, the excitement wears off, reality hits hard, and many cry silently behind closed doors. Even those tough, "I'm doing well on my own," women you see online are often secretly struggling. Here's the advice they should heed. Don't fall for the promises of men who sweet-talk you with grand promises. They just want a taste of something new and will do anything to get it. But once they do, they often reveal themselves to be worse than your current partner. The grass may look greener on the other side from a distance, but it's often barren and disappointing up close. Women are shocked to find that what they thought was a paradise is actually emptier and more challenging than the life they left behind.
I stayed in a marriage for 23 years and built up a family and my ex's career and everything, and we literally just got to where it was supposed to be everything we dreamed of. Like, owned a company, making, almost $1 million, and that was my breaking point, and I left it all. And I'm not a person that is about money. I've kind of been in mourning of the oh my gosh, I gave it all up. Everything was around my family. So when I chose to leave, I gave it all up, all up. I had no clue that the worst was yet to come in the 1 year of separation. And so it's weird because I find that I just thought today for a split second, and I'm like, what the hell's wrong with you? What the fuck is wrong with you? I thought, I should have just stayed. It wasn't that bad. You made it 23 years. You made 26 years total. Your kids are college and one's almost out of high school. You made it. It didn't matter at this point. They can do their own separate life and all that. You made it to the point where you guys were making so much money and you had big houses and you could do whatever you want and you can relax. And I literally just called my friend and I was freaking out because I'm the biggest person that keeps me back. I'm terrified. I don't have 401k. My counsel did not have my back. I was so traumatized when I got out and then terrorized for the next year that I couldn't even think straight to help.
There is something a lot of people are not seeing in this video. She had a plan but failed, which is why she regrets that she should have stayed. What was her plan? She wanted to walk away with her share of the man's newfound wealth, but it backfired. Notice she did not mention any wrong thing the man did. She planned to use divorce to get rich. For some women, the decision to divorce comes with the hope of achieving financial security through alimony, child support, and the division of marital assets. The belief that a divorce settlement will provide a comfortable standard of living and ease the transition into single life is many women's driving force. Influenced by stories of substantial divorce settlements and a perceived entitlement to a share of the marital wealth, many women enter the divorce process with high financial expectations. The financial disappointment post-divorce often leads to a significant lifestyle adjustment. Women may find themselves struggling to maintain the same standard of living they enjoyed during the marriage. The costs of housing, utilities, childcare, and daily expenses can add up quickly, leading to financial stress and a lower quality of life. The burden of these unexpected financial challenges can overshadow any sense of freedom or independence gained from the divorce.
We signed our final divorce papers last week, and I just got notified today that the lawyer sent the papers to the court today to be signed by the judge. Everybody keeps thinking that I'm handling this divorce so well, and I'm not. I'm not okay. Next week would have been our 9-year anniversary. And I don't know what I'm supposed to do with myself. I didn't want this. I never wanted this. And it hurts and it sucks and okay. I know that I'm gonna be okay. But right now it really sucks. And I feel like I can't breathe.
Post-divorce life might initially seem freeing, but as time goes on, many women are smacked in the face with challenges they never saw coming. Loneliness hits hard, especially when the social circles they once enjoyed are now isolating and couple-centric. Dating in midlife is a nightmare. The dating pool is practically a desert, and finding a decent partner is next to impossible. The emotional and practical burden of juggling their schedules and meeting their needs without a man's support becomes a crushing weight. These harsh realities often lead to a bitter sense of regret, as the so-called freedom and happiness of a single life turn out to be nothing more than a mirage, overshadowed by real-world struggles and disappointments. Divorce is more regrettable for women than men, even though they are the ones who lose more at the divorce, and the reason is that many women divorce with an agenda. Most divorced women, especially the ones that initiated their divorce, are filled with bitterness. They try to use pretense to cover up the bitterness. Even when they get a good man as a second husband, they scapegoat him for the mistake they made with the first husband. They appreciate a good man when he is just a sex mate, not when he tries to be a second husband. A woman and a military officer shared their experiences, highlighting regret from different perspectives. The first woman shares her regret about divorce. Her biggest regret is getting divorced in the first place. Her ex-husband wasn't a bad man, but they lacked a strong connection, and there were certain things about him that she didn't like. However, they had 3 small children and a substantial amount of money. 10 years later, they are on relatively good terms, but it has been a long and challenging journey to reach this point. Although she is financially stable, it pales in comparison to the financial situation she and her children could have enjoyed if they had stayed together. Her relationship with his family is decent, but will never be the same, and family events with extended relatives are awkward. The fact that her ex-husband is now alone and doesn't have a strong relationship with their children makes her feel terribly guilty. She broke a promise, possibly for insufficient reasons, and feels like she robbed her kids of an intact family and a better relationship with their father. It has been difficult for him, as a working man, to spend a lot of time with his kids, and therefore his relationship with them suffered. Although he chose to spend time with other women instead of his kids over the years, which was his own doing, she still feels incredibly responsible for his current life situation. She is now remarried, but this marriage has its own set of problems. Different, but problems nonetheless. It is also challenging to have a step-parent in the house, and she often finds herself caught in the middle between her husband and her teenage children. If she could turn back time, she probably would. Life is good now, and she is glad that she and her ex-husband are finally working together for the sake of their kids. But his bitterness toward her over the years kept that from happening sooner. Her best advice to anyone considering divorce is to think very hard about it. The grass may seem greener on the other side, but most of the time, it has weeds and bugs that you will discover after it's too late. If you can stay and find the good in your spouse, do it. The soldier also shares his own experience. His ex-wife had pushed for their divorce, starting when he was deployed in Afghanistan. Rather than accepting it, he fought for their marriage, researching ways to improve and striving to become a better partner. About 1.5 years later, despite his efforts, she finalized the divorce. Now, over 3 years later, she often tells him how her regret has only deepened with time. She became pregnant while they were still married and is now engaged to that man. They share 2 kids. Through tears, she has confided in him that if she could turn back time, she would do things differently. But she can't. No one can. Now, he shields himself from her distress, respecting the relationship she is in and choosing not to interfere. More than that, he knows that living in the past or wallowing in regret would only harm him. He has an amazing girlfriend now, and he is putting all his effort into being good to her and building a future together. Women who ruin their marriages, to end up with nothing and be in a worse state than they were, despite complaining about how miserable they once were, should be considered a psychological case. It is unfound. Most women are either filled with regret following a divorce or hide it from themselves with an avalanche of anger and self-pity. That's all for today on Manhood. Remember to drop your thoughts in the comments section, and don't forget to hit that like button, click the subscribe button, and also turn on the notification bell to be the first to know when a new video drops. Share this video with whomever you would like to watch it with. Thanks for watching. See you at the next one. Cheers.